Hello, I am Guru Parulkar. I am Executive Director of Open Networking Foundation, ONF for short, and of Open Networking Lab, that is ON Lab. I am also Executive Director of Stanford University's Platform Lab. I want to thank H3C for giving me this opportunity to share a short message on new ONF, that is bringing original ONF and ON Lab together under a single umbrella. As you probably know, ONF has been responsible for standardization of open flow protocol and other SDN interfaces and evangelizing SDN. And Open Networking Lab has been responsible for creating open source SDN and NFV platforms such as ONF and CORD. If you look at our industry today, we know we have made tremendous progress with SDN and NFV that has led to network device disaggregation and emergence of many open source components or platforms. You can get white boxes that are built with merchant silicon for packet switches, for GPON OLT devices, for ROADMs, and even radio access networks. Similarly, now we have open source components or platform for software switches, for switch operating system, SDN control, for many virtual network functions, and for orchestrating virtual network functions and networking in general. So, this is all well and good. However, if you are a network operator or even a vendor, and if you want to build a complete and integrated solution, your life is very complex and difficult, because you have to assemble and bring together a number of disaggregated network devices and many open source components. So, the mission of new ONF is to help service providers and network operators to transform their networks into a platform for service delivery or innovative services by leveraging disaggregated networking devices and open source platforms and what we are calling software defined standards. We want to achieve this mission by building what we are calling an open end-to-end innovation pipeline that is built on white boxes and many open source platforms, and then to create these integrated complete solutions that we can take from proof of concept to lab trials to field trials to eventual production deployment. The idea is we want to help a vendor or a company to be able to insert or plug in their innovation into this innovation pipeline, so that they can move this innovation more quickly into production network without significant R&D investment, and also at the same time significantly reduce time to market. At Open Networking Lab, we already have several innovations pipelines in action for 3 or 4 huge markets. For example, residential broadband, 5G, enterprise wide area networking, and packet optical networking as well. For example, if you look at residential CORD as an example, the solutions that we are building at Open Networking Lab, it brings together a number of white boxes for GPON OLT, packet switches and servers into a coherent infrastructure, hardware infrastructure, and on top of that we have a software stack that is built with many open source building blocks such as OVS, ONF for SDN control, OpenStack and Docker, as well as XOS, and a number of virtual network functions that are realized as services that are managed and orchestrated by XOS. Now, many service providers are taking residential CORD through lab trials, field trials, and most likely production deployment before end of this year. We also have a similar open innovations pipeline in action for mobile CORD, enterprise CORD, as well as packet optical networking. So, as we build these complete or integrated solutions, we have an opportunity to define what we are calling software defined standards. Standards that are based on operational open source software and solutions that we have experience with. And these are the software defined standards that will specify APIs, data models and information model for interworking of multiple open source components into a complete solution. ONF is not doing this work in isolation. We are working together with two large and vibrant ecosystems of original ONF and Open Networking Lab that includes over 200 companies, including leading service providers, vendors for chip, software and equipment, as well as system integrators and other stakeholders of our industry. So, the net result of all of this is that service providers get more complete integrated solution that they can more readily deploy into their network and transform their network into a platform for service delivery, and vendors get to deploy their innovation into the production networks of their customers with relatively small R&D investment and with reduced time to market. And this is the value that the new ONF wants to bring to its stakeholders in the industry.